Things might be getting intense again. We got hit with an X class solar flare, an X4, and it's coming from the same exact sunspot region. Of course, we have to talk about Schumann Resonance, which is acting a bit strange right now, the Italian Schumann Resonance, which is showing a little bit of activity, and of course, some stuff regarding 3 Atlas and what's coming. So, by all means, welcome in. Let's talk about the Joe Sky here. Back at it again. So, we got hit with an X class solar flare. This is like what, the fourth or fifth X class this month? That's insane. So, we're definitely getting hit, and it's definitely looking like a really busy week. We had a G4, almost a G5, a G3 on November 13, and heading towards November 15 right now. Um, November 14, we had the X class solar flare. So, what's going on? On the far side of the sun, of course, we had a pretty big CME, and this one suggests it could definitely hit us. And on Sunday, November 16, we're most likely going to have a geomagnetic storm watch, a G1. The reason why it's not as intense is simply because it's on the far side of the sun and it might not be hitting direct. So obviously it may not be that strong. So obviously even if sunspots do face us or we see them, it has to be like, one of those in the middle. So obviously, of course, and by the way, that sunspot region might produce another one. But I don't think it'll be as intense, and I don't think this one will be intense. So we will be getting a lot of activity around Sunday, November 16. So obviously, of course, and of course, due to the coronal hole, I'm going to talk about this influences as well. So very interesting here. But again, maybe nothing will happen because the data's, there's a couple of charts they're using, and I would definitely say that, you know, one of them is saying we're gonna get something, and one of them saying we're not. So we're gonna have to see. Definitely looking at it. We do have sunspots still facing us. However, of course, the chances of them really doing anything significant doesn't look too high. 4274, a really incredibly active region. Let's take a look at this region. There is still a solid chance, and I don't know if this is same day, but there's still a solid chance for some X clairs, I think. Still. Shifting to solar flares. We had the X4, then we had two M classes. Only the last 24 hours. An M13 and M13. Ironic. There's been a lot of CMEs lately. I don't know if this one shows something. No. This one probably did. No. Oh boy. They're not really showing anything. I don't think they're really getting anything. But there's definitely been quite a bit of CMEs though. But nothing too crazy. This coronal hole, and by the way, we gotta talk about that too. This coronal hole is over here. It's starting to move away, but it definitely has an influence on us. Definitely adding to things. This thing on the left isn't a coronal hole yet. If it is, it'll be pretty minor, and we'll have to see what happens. But this one, if it does turn, this could be a transequatorial one for sure. Definitely facing us and really amplifying things. The sun right now is looking pretty darn wild. On the far right side is where we had the X-class solar flare, and overall, a lot of bright regions as you can see. It's going all over the place. Sun looks very interesting. A lot of faces here. It looks angry, or actually no, it looks happy. Um, but yeah, definitely a lot of activity. Um, and as you can see on the top right, that's where that X class was. You can definitely see that release. What else do we want to get into? Real time solar activity. Everything's pretty chill. Under a 2, solar winds are high. Everything else is pretty low. So, we do have a few images on the 3 Atlas. We're going to get more in the next few days. There is also a rare planetary alignment, by the way. So if you guys are not aware, there's a rare planetary alignment. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know why it was talked about, but something's happening around November 19. How ironic, does coincide with the new moon. So we'll have the new moon. And by the way, we do have two moons, by the way. So very interesting. Even though one of them is a bit smaller and different, still that does amplify things, and that's gonna be here for a long time. Um, but I think we're gonna be colliding with Mercury. Venus is gonna be close as well. Um, this has been weird though. This is not updating. That spike we had, and by the way, we live streamed the Schumann resonance and all this data. I keep refreshing, and as you could tell, it's not changing. I'm gonna assume it's just down. I'm gonna assume the Schumann resonance is down, or maybe just maybe. Um, and the thing is, it just happened, right? We should have data. I'm gonna make the logical assumption the Schumann resonance is down. That's literally what I'm gonna go with right now. We're not getting any current data, so I'm gonna say it's down. But overall, we were getting weird horizontal lines. We've been getting a little bit the last couple of days, and of course we keep getting those vertical lines. The last 2 days, it's kind of been fading and weakening. So right now it looks down again. I'm refreshing. I mean, it doesn't look any different than the live stream, which was an hour ago. It's midnight now, November 15. So very interesting here. We're not, as you can see, we're not getting that real time update, which we should be getting. Because I always do refreshes. It changes every few minutes. It hasn't changed in an hour, so I'm guessing it's down, or maybe there's something weird going on. Looking at the Italian Schumann resonance, again, they haven't updated it, but then again, they don't update as often. But overall, really low activity. We had a power 9, that's very low. And yeah, nothing too crazy. Now, what the world? That looks so weird. I've never seen this data look like this. Yeah, this is all off right now. I've never seen this magnetosphere look like this. They must have changed it, or something's off. Italian student residence hasn't been updated. I find that to be interesting. But let me refresh this real quick. Yeah, it looks different. See, it refreshes. Things refresh here. Nothing's refreshing here, but huge line, almost 11,500 hertz. And another red line. That one looks like a timeline jump. That looks like a strong, thick line. A lot of activity, a little bit of activity in the bottom, just a little bit. And it's been active. And going back over here, are we going to get an update? We're going to get a refresh here. Nothing. It's not changing, yeah. It should change every few minutes. That's how it works. So I think it's down. Overall, of course, yeah, things are definitely looking pretty wild right now. So it looks like the Schumann resonance isn't working. Um, and yeah, overall, definitely looks like solar winds are high, but that's not too crazy. Um, Besides that, of course, yeah, massive X class solar flare. There's a chance another one could come, but then again, we're gonna have to see. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and of course, I'm gonna keep you guys updated. So by all means, thank you guys so much. And there is a new moon coming. We're gonna make a video on that and upload that as soon as possible. So thank you guys so much. See you all next time. God bless and take it easy.